Hello and welcome, Strategy Battle Gamers, to the Palantir. This week there is no sketch, but instead we hope you enjoy this for the next couple of minutes.
Lay down your sweet and weary head. Night is falling. You've come to journey's end. Sleep now and dream of the ones who came before. They are calling from across a distant shore. Why do you weep? What are these tears upon your face? Soon you will see all of your fears will pass away. Safe in my arms, you're only sleeping. What can you see on the horizon? Why do the white gulls across the sea? A pale moon rises. The ships have come to carry you home. Dawn will turn to silver glass. Light on the water, all souls pass. Hope fades into the world of night, through shadows falling out of memory and time. Don't say we have come now to the end. White shores are calling. You and I will meet again, and you'll be here in my arms, just sleeping. What can you see on the horizon? Why do the white gulls call across the sea? A pale moon rises. The ships have come to carry you home. And all will turn to silver glass. Light on the water, gray ships pass into the west.
So welcome, Strategy Battle Gamers, to another GBHL YouTube video. We're here with your host GBHL Damian,
GBHL
and this is episode 32 of the Palantir. Oh yes.
Oh yes.
Oh yes. We're back.
We're back.
We are back, but of course this week things are tinged with sadness in the
Yeah,
verse.
a bit more of a poignant episode
Indeed.
of the Palantir.
After, of course, as everyone will know, the passing of the great Christopher Lee, our very own Saruman. So it's been a bit sad.
Yeah.
Lots of lovely kind of obituaries and posts on the groups and stuff. But yes, suffice to say, many people suggested that influenced the content. The show is the Palantir.
Yeah.
It's named after his toys.
Yeah.
So we will have a bit of a Palantir, Christopher Lee,
Theme.
Saruman theme.
Yeah.
And we hope that's all right. It's our little way of marking our respect.
Yes.
But this week is also tinged with happiness.
Is it?
Yes, you know it is.
Why?
Because today, for you guys, it's your birthday!
It is. It's
It
my
is!
birthday.
It's not his birthday now.
No, it's
But
not.
for you guys, it's his birthday. Because Tom's birthday on Friday. So, all together now, you're going to sit and you're going to stare at your computer and you're going to sing Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, you moron. Happy birthday to you. Woo! Hip hip.
Alright.
Hip hip.
Alright.
Hip hip.
Alright.
Nothing sadder than a
Don't have
man
a
doing
cake.
his own hoorays.
Don't have a cake.
No, I gave
tomorrow.
you some peppermint bark.
Oh yeah, you did.
I
That was
did.
good.
So yes, I hope you all sang that, and if you did, just stop and think about what you just did. We like to think we could hear you.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's Tom's birthday on Friday, and we're off to a tournament this weekend.
Yes.
So you should be quids in on Saturday
Yeah,
night.
I know,
Sure.
great.
Yeah. Oh, what is this?
Some rogue tea drinking.
Some rogue tea drinking. So,
Yeah, so Michael Romby had it last week, and he's passing it on to the Goblin King himself, Camille Damansky.
Camille Damansky, here's to you.
Yeah.
Camille Damansky. Heaven loves you more than you will know. do. That's Mrs. Robinson.
Oh.
Oh, here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. Yeah?
Yeah.
You remember, he hasn't seen or heard anything. And also, I think it's only right that to Christopher Lee.
Yes.
As well, little bonus tea toast.
Yeah,
Like,
bonus tea
so,
toast. Yeah, we'll have to
Christopher Lee,
chink for that.
wherever you are. Cheers for all the salmon.
But yeah, going to Camille Damansky, who is who likes the King Goblin.
King Goblin, and his blueberry mass.
Blueberry Mass. Yeah.
There you go, Camille. There's your tea toast. You know what you have to do. You've got to pass it on to someone else for next week. Ideally, someone who watches the Palantir.
Yes.
As ever on the Palantir,
Yeah.
everything we're about to say are just our own thoughts and opinions and do not represent the views of the GBHL podcast channel or the Great British Hobby League or any formal body or institution such as British Rail.
Okay. I thought you were going to go for Snakes on a Plane.
Snakes on a Plane. Snakes on a Plane was on tonight, which is why we're recording the Palantir at 11:30 because Tom just loves Snakes on a Plane. So yes, and on we go.
Yes, so that was the tea toast. Last week, what did we talk about, Damian?
You always do this. I hate this bit because I never check. Last week we talked about custom profiles in tournaments
Yes, we did.
and the international scene.
Well, yeah, we kind of followed on the international scene.
Was that the
yeah.
week before?
Yeah, that was the week before.
Custom profiles and that's something else.
Yeah, that's
Banners?
as much as I can remember.
Was it
Banners?
banners?
Yeah, there was banner
It
jokes.
was two. Do you not know?
No.
You're meant to know.
I know, I'm meant
You're meant to know.
What did we talk about?
I don't know. I've forgotten. Right, well, why don't you crack on? Why don't you
You'll have a
crack on?
look.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, lots of you chipped on the custom profiles and
But clearly not on the other topic.
yeah, not on the other topic. And you were talking about how well it's a cool idea. It might be difficult before GW take the game out of production.
So this was introducing our own profiles at
Yeah.
tournaments, yeah? Okay.
Yeah. Some people like it. Other people think that maybe there's more scope for it once they stop supporting
Oh,
the
that's
game.
what we sodding talked about.
What?
Of course. How would we forget that? The named characters.
Oh yeah, there were comments
unknown
about
characters.
that. Yeah, I was just kind of ignoring comments on that because we've done the FAQ.
It got decided, for
Yeah.
anyone who watches and isn't on the Facebook group or whatever, the overwhelming consensus by something like 80 to 20, I believe it was that the King's Champion should be unnamed.
Yes.
So you can have more than one in your list if you're playing in a Great British Hobby League tournament
Yeah.
or a DCHL tournament.
Yeah.
That apparently use the Great British Hobby League FAQ, which is kind of amazing, going international. Cool. So cheers for that, guys.
Yeah, an international. I think HTL. Do you use the Great British Hobbit League FAQ? Because
they're probably not going to answer this week.
No,
because God only knows what HTL are up to.
Well, they're setting up a tournament that's going to have. They've sold 57 out of their 60 allocation, which is great. So that's is that going to beat Stockport? What's Stockport's record? In terms of, I know it's not a Great British Hobbit League, but it's an independent tournament.
It might.
That might be Stockport's record.
Do you get the impression that somewhere in Florida, James is going like he sensed something in the force that there might be a bigger tournament?
Yeah.
But yeah, if you have done, guys, that's great. But they said they couldn't comment. This is the HTL. Go and watch their videos. I mean, it's quite tricky if you don't speak German to understand most of their videos.
But you don't need to know German.
That's what they said, wasn't it?
To watch them in a pool.
Yeah, they said you won't need to speak German to understand what's going on in the video. Ollie and Daniel are on holiday and are recording a video in the pool. We haven't done this before. This is breaking new ground. No, we should go on a trip to DC or something. Yeah. But yeah, go and watch it. And the thing is, if I'm brutally honest, it's not true. I've got no idea what they're talking about. But it's a great video of Ollie and Daniel having a great time in the pool on holiday.
On Lilos.
Yeah, on Lilos. So go and check out the Hobbit Tabletop League's latest holiday video. Yeah, good work, guys. It made us laugh no end.
Yeah.
So yes.
Yeah.
So the King's Champion is unnamed, and you can use as many of them as you want.
And then someone had
Much the relief of no one ever.
Yeah, someone commented on the Spider Queen how it was an independent in one and not in the other.
I saw that.
And the different, maybe it was meant to be different fluff originally.
Are they saying that in Mordor it's not independent?
Yeah.
And in Mordor it can lead troops.
It's been FAQ'd to be independent.
Oh, I see.
But because the books were written by different people, I reckon maybe different people did different fluff.
Not independent. Yeah, and it's not independent, and she's the fluff in the Mordor book is that it's the Spider Queen of Dol Guldur.
Right.
The fluff's different as well. That was it. That's what that comment was saying.
Yeah.
And
interesting.
So that is one spider, but the fluff in the Moria book is different.
Multiple ones.
Yeah, weird, right? Yeah. Fun stuff.
Weird. But yeah. So yeah, that is that's the named heroes debate anyway. The next one that's going up on that is the whole spells analogous to command, and whether Wood Elf Sentinel and what was the other one, the Spectres Fell can cause models to do stuff like dismount or lie down, stuff that isn't just moving. And we reckon that if GWS they'd say it's like command, you can just move them physically.
You can move them. They're
as in up to their 6 inches of movement. That's it.
The update on this that I don't think you know about is that. There could well be a poll on this when you watch this as of Monday, but for the tournament it's going to be that you can't lie them down, you can't dismount them, because what I did was I spoke to Sam, because I figured it's not in the FAQ, and so it could come up at the tournament, and so what would happen if it came up at the tournament, you'd ask the tournament organiser, and Sam has come down on the side of you can just move them, which I think is the intention of it.
One,
So it's in the FAQ.
Just dismount, it's
essentially in the FAQ that you can't do anything. It's essentially the same as command. You can't do anything complicated. You can't dismount them. You can't lie them down or anything like that.
Jump them off a cliff.
You can take them to the nth degree. If you're saying you can dismount them, if you do it to a spellcaster, surely you can cast a spell. Yeah. So that's part of their movement. Yeah. You can move them, and in their move they got a spell. So
just move.
It's I think clearly intended to be just move. However, as is the way with the community FAQ, come Monday, if someone disagrees with that, they can challenge it and it will go to vote. But at the tournament this weekend, which is the second plug, you're lucky, you're welcome, Sam. It will be that Fell-Light and Eldamar Madrigal.
Yes.
Should get Jamie in to do that bit.
Yes. Now
are only moving spells.
Yeah. Now, because we've not had East Grinstead yet, our update on the news in terms of tournaments hasn't changed, but the 3 coming up are East Grinstead this weekend. Sold out. But it's tomorrow for you guys, so you'd have a hard time getting there even if you could. Then it's JT's Awkward Taking of Smaug, the camping one. You can win a Smaug. Get on that one. And the third one is Sutton, so near Mansfield. Ed and Owen's tournament.
You know,
where everyone gets a free banner.
Yeah, you know, I was debating whether I could go to that.
Yeah.
Because our
You
wedding
love that.
anniversary is
Yes.
in the middle of the week.
Yeah.
Start on the Wednesday, so we'd be celebrating one side or the other.
Yeah.
So I said to him, I was like, so if we were to celebrate the weekend after, could I go to the tournament? And she said, you've got a christening on the Friday, and we're babysitting your two nieces on the Friday, and you've got a christening on the Sunday. I was like, right.
Should they still go?
Yeah, just no? Is that no? So alas, I will not be going to Eden Owens tournament.
Part-time,
I'm very sorry. Yeah, I know, right? Stupid real life. But yeah, I couldn't quite wriggle out of that.
No, that's
and the
probably
wedding
a bit too
anniversary.
much to wriggle out of.
Yeah. So we are now celebrating our anniversary on that Saturday. So if anyone wants to
Okay.
run the tournament the next weekend, I am free and clear.
What a shame. Anyway, that was the tournament that got us onto banner jokes. Because you get free banner. And Damian delighted us with a banner joke, but Larry Miller's gone one step further, and his comment included some banner themed jokes. He said, I'm going to quote because I don't want to mess up his joke. I'd like to chip in with the banner jokes, but I feel like Damian set the standard too high. I feel my attempt to join in would get bannered, or at the very least get my comment flagged. There you go.
3
Yeah, 3.
in 1.
Yeah,
Oh,
smashed it.
outstanding.
Yeah,
And the crowd went wild.
outstanding. No.
So you can't do it, can you?
It's almost
Well,
as
hello.
if we planned it.
Yeah, so as if we planned it.
Hey.
Hey. Mm.
Anyway, there we go. Trivia last week.
Yep. Were there no comments about the other thing?
What other
I
thing?
don't know, the other thing we talked about, custom profiles and... Oh, was that it?
Yeah, I kind of very quickly said about the custom
Oh,
profiles.
okay, cool, yeah.
Sorry. Oh, Larry made an interesting comment on the golem because we talked about the free golem potentially being
Yeah.
banned. We've not done anything about that yet, but
Me or you.
well, yeah, or you could put it in the FAQ.
Could do it if you want. You're the boss.
Yeah. But he said it would be interesting if you could get a golem and a Smeagol in a game fighting against each other.
Of course he did.
So that would mean you have to take Frodo and Smeagol, and the other person has to have brought the free golem to then go up against the Frodo with the ring, but then they've got Smeagol as well, so the
And the
Smeagol
world
and Gollum,
explodes.
yeah, Smeagol and Gollum can have a go at
scrap.
each other.
Cool.
So yeah, Slinker versus Stinker.
Well, Larry, you never failed to amaze.
Cool. So yeah, trivia last week. What did you ask, Damian?
I asked how many warrior types,
Mm-hmm.
as in individual entries rather than equipment gear outs,
Yeah.
how many individual entries are there in the Moria army list?
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
Yeah, do you want to try?
Oh, yeah.
Alright, go on.
Mori Goblin.
Yep.
Goblin Prowler.
Yep.
Caedra.
Yeah.
Goblin Drum.
Yep.
Warg Marauder.
Yeah.
Gundabad.
Warrior.
Warrior, yeah.
Yeah.
Spider. Giant Spider.
Yeah.
Wild Warg.
Yeah.
What else is there? There's more in there. Must be.
There's
must
3.
be a lot more. Oh, they're going to be monsters. Cave Drake. Oh no,
That's not a
Watcher.
warrior.
Is that, are they heroes? Oh, Dweller.
Yeah, Dweller.
How many am I on?
You're on 9. You need 2 more.
2 more.
The answer is 11.
For those who can't count. 2 more. It must be some sort
One
of
of which
monster.
you've totally choked on, because you've actually said all the words for it, but you've forgotten about it. Yes. And the other one, I'm not gonna lie, Tom, I can't remember.
Bat Swarm.
That's the other one. There's
So I've
11.
choked on one.
Yeah, you've choked on one.
Gundabad Drummer.
There you go. Yeah.
Boom.
Boom, smashed it. 11 warrior types. God, you enjoyed watching that,
Yeah.
didn't you?
So yeah, quite a few of you got this right. Well done too. Generation Ship, Matt Davies. Larry Miller, Deirdre Coppenall, J22, and Andreas from Norway.
Way.
Go and get a Freddo.
He can't. You know he can't.
We'll send you
Why
a
would you tease
Freddo.
him? You've won the chance to go and buy yourself a Freddo. So enjoy that.
Yeah.
I'd like to see photos of you enjoying your Freddos. Like,
Yeah.
send them in, please. SBG Magazine at gmail.com.
Yeah. I don't know if you can post photos in YouTube comments.
Yeah, no.
Or on the Great British Hobbit League Facebook page.
Yes, spam that.
Spam that.
It's the Freddoing of Facebook. That's this week's Freddoing of Facebook.
You've got to whisper. It's the Freddoing of Facebook. Right.
I've got two more. Hang on, start it out.
That's great. David Whittaker, rather than rewind back through the Palantir, forgot what your question was. So, so he was like, I can't remember what your question is, but if I had to guess at an answer, he's going to say, fall on the fat on a horse.
It's close.
So it wasn't
the
quite
answer
right.
was 11. This is offline.
Yeah.
VOD. You just had to click there. It's not like you missed it and you got to wait for the next hour. Not a bus.
Oh dear. Very good.
Good try, David.
My trivia was who played Samwise Gamgee in the BBC radio edition of The Lord of the Rings.
Indeed. What an edition it is.
Yeah. And the answer is William Nye, now known more commonly as Bill Nye.
The Bill Nye?
Yeah.
Would you believe it?
Yeah.
He doesn't sound like it.
No.
At all.
That's why he's an actor.
Yeah. But now,
Yeah.
in almost all of his films, Bill Nye sounds like Bill Nye. But it's incredible.
There you go. So well done to Troy Keenan, Ben Shaw, David Whittaker, and Generation Shift getting the bonus double.
The double?
Freddo.
Matt Davis.
Yeah.
You get the chance to go out and buy yourself 3 Freddos. That doesn't come along often, so don't waste it. Remember to put them on the Facebook.
Now you had a reference from Wild Wargaming that you understood and I didn't, and thought was funny.
Oh, is this a suggestion?
Yeah.
That Wild Wargaming suggested it was Richard Dean Anderson. No, he's MacGyver.
Just opens the person who doesn't watch anything.
I reckon maybe, I don't know who I'm holding out hope for, Ian Marley and maybe Chris Murfitt might be with me on the MacGyver thing. They're of my age. Maybe Steve. Come on, someone out there must have watched MacGyver. I used to love MacGyver. He was a secret agent who fought for freedom with the most dangerous weapon of all, his intelligence. Yeah, and he could make bombs out of paper clips and stuff, and he's amazing. It's on CBS Action at the moment. You should check it out. It's really, really good.
Sounds it.
And he was then later in Stargate Atlantis, I think. And there was I remember I was having this argument with this woman a while back, and she was like, she saw an episode of MacGyver.
Is this Emma?
No. She saw this episode of MacGyver, and she was like, it's the guy from Stargate Atlantis. And I like smacked her in the face. And I was like, no, it's the other way around. And on reflection, what I should have done was say, look, Mum, it's not that way around. MacGyver is in Stargate Atlantis. But it just made me quite passionate when
I'm not sure punching your mum jokes acceptable on the Palantir. David loves his mum very much.
I do. I love my mum, but sometimes she's wrong about MacGyver. Not my fault.
Acton 39 suggested it might have been Jamie Giblin, despite the fact that he wasn't born at the time. But given his immaculate pronunciation of the Wood Elf Sentinel songs, they fit right in.
I can't do it. It's like, Elder Mamadvaka. The great thing is, about halfway through the week, I was looking through the comments, and I forgot what your question was.
Okay.
So I was just looking through and go, what the hell was it? Because it was like MacGyver, Jamie Giblin, I think Christopher Lee was on there. I was like, what the hell was his question?
Anyway, very good, guys. Cheers for all those who answered, and well done to those who got the answer correct. So, trivia for this week, if we're kicking off our theme.
We are. They're going to be themed questions around Mr. Lee. And so my trivia question this week is, according to IMDb, how many films did Christopher Lee appear in his life?
42.
Films. We're going with, it should be pretty obvious, but film like performances. Okay. So no, you know what it is. When on IMDb it will say films, and how many was he in?
42.
It is more than 42. Okay. So that is my trivia question.
Good
I reckon, I would hope this is going to be a nearest to.
Yeah.
If anyone gets this, I will be mightily surprised / suspicious. But obviously you can't look this up. Yourself?
Cool. My question is, what part of Christopher Lee's anatomy was injured during the filming of The Fellowship of the Ring?
Good question. Well, it's good.
Clue, it's not his staff.
Is that part of his anatomy?
No.
Oh, we. Oh no. Oh no. Trivia section.
Yeah. Give that up.
This is the least tinged with sadness thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Cool.
So anyway, thanks for those who said they wanted us to do this theme. I think Ian Marley definitely commented on it. And some others as well.
What are we doing first? Rules and models?
Well, we're doing the Gump first.
Yeah, I know.
But models.
Models? Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, we thought that we'd kick off with a look back at Saruman's profiles and models. Models. Models.
I gotta set the scene for this. I don't actually know if I'll have the clip. If I've got the clip now, I'm gonna leave it in. If we set it record, just before we started recording, we're like, we try. I know it seems like we don't plan this at all, but we try and have a chat about what we're gonna do. And we went, so what are we starting with? Are we starting with the models or the profiles? And Tom's like, models. We're starting with the models. Alright, start with the models. And then go back and watch that. We're starting with his profiles. No. Bad Thomas.
Yeah, bad Thomas.
We're starting with the models.
We are.
So yeah, we thought it'd be good to have a little look. We haven't really done this sort of thing on the Palantir.
No.
We said at the start when we started doing it that we might do kind of reviews and model things, and who knows, let's see how this goes, and if people like it, we might do more of it. Yeah. But yeah, we're going to have a look through Saruman's models, trace the kind of lineage of the model, and then decide which one our favourite is.
Yeah.
So, as a Isengard player, I've got quite a few of them. Can this go here without spoilers?
There was a little bit of spoilers.
Yeah, I doubt there anyone's going to freeze frame and start posting pictures on Facebook. So, do you want to talk us through? Start?
Yeah, so we're going back to November 2001 for our first ever Saruman model from the Fellowship of the Ring. It's pro-painted and it's super rare. It's Saruman with the Palantir.
It is super rare now, isn't it? This one isn't on sale. Yeah. So yeah, Saruman with the Palantir.
It's not pro-painted.
It's not pro-painted. It's not bad.
No.
Did a pretty decent job on this guy. This was the first Saruman model. It was ever released. It was for the Fellowship of the Ring range, and yeah, it came out, as Tom said, in November. So this was before the films came out.
Yeah.
Before the film came out.
And this guy should probably be our mascot for the show, given that he has the Palantir.
He does have the Palantir. He's the only Saruman model to hold the Palantir, I believe. And
the only of any model to hold the Palantir.
Yes. And also potentially, because bear in mind, like not unlike the Hobbit film scripts and stuff, they were working from potentially an early script, didn't know how big a deal the Palantir was going to be in it. So when we get to his profiles, you might find that the kind of Palantir is very, very powerful in the first iteration of the game.
Yes.
But what do we think of this model? I
like it. It's cool that he's got the Palantir.
Yeah, it's cool. I remember getting this and being amazed at the detail. I painted him 2 or 3 years ago, I think now.
Yeah.
He's the first version of Saruman I ever painted. He's a bit creamy now. I think I could probably go a bit whiter with him now. show that. You always try with these models to get the distinction between the hair, where they have like the white beard, and the robes that aren't technically white.
Yeah.
But I was pretty pleased with it. But there's tons of detail. I remember being very impressed with the face, and the kind of like detailed face. Resemblance to Christopher Lee.
Yeah, not bad.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was available. That was, I think, the first month of releases. Either the first or the second month of releases.
Yeah, so first.
Of the entire SBG range.
Yeah.
And he was probably about £4, I believe. £4 released on his own.
So yeah, cool model.
Very cool model.
Yeah. Fast forward a year later, December 2002. Is that right?
No.
2001.
Yeah.
Fast forward a month later.
What's amazing is you write these things.
Yeah. Fast forward
much better.
a month later, and we have Saruman again.
And again, another Saruman.
Which one is it?
It's this one. The Escape from Orthanc Saruman.
Yeah.
Now this was, for anyone, like, you know, hopefully people have been playing it for years or enjoy kind of a trip down memory lane, but anyone don't know them, this might surprise you, that the way the kind of releases of SBG in the olden days were with boxes. They were like themed boxes, not kind of boxes of models. So this was released with Gandalf, the Palantir model, and Gwaihir.
Yeah.
And Gwaihir was in the same box. It was called the Escape from Gandalf.
Escape from Gandalf.
Escape from Orthanc set. And it was meant to be the Wizard's Jewel. So you had the little Palantir on the plinth. You had this guy, and then Gandalf's kind of pointing his staff as well. They're meant to be kind of fighting, aren't they, and duelling.
Yeah.
And this is obviously Flash here. This comes off.
And there's a cool mini game from the Battle Games in Middle Earth magazine.
I think it was in the White Dwarf.
Is it in the White Dwarf?
It was probably in the White Dwarf when it was released. Yeah, I think. Like completely different rules and everything.
Where they're on kind of hexes in Saruman's chamber.
Obviously, as you can see, I decided to paint this guy silver. I haven't got around to painting him. I don't particularly like this model. I was never that keen on it. Well, I don't know. I just thought as we come round to it, I think he's been better served by the sculpts.
I like this one. I quite like the stuff at the back. I think it's quite a cool dynamic pose of him doing a spell.
Yeah.
I quite like this one.
Yeah, it's not bad. Actually, it's interesting. When you do videos like this for unboxings and stuff, you tend to look at the models more than you have in the past. And I think maybe I like this more than I thought I did. And I also think potentially if we can get in there, I reckon this one looks a little more like Christopher Lee. What do you reckon?
What, in the month they had to... Yeah, but maybe it's just a bad paint job.
It could be the paint job. Like, no, you say bad, but it could be it could definitely be the paint job.
They look pretty similar. That one's slightly thinner face.
Yeah, I think that's it. It's kind of the long gaunt face.
Yeah.
But where are we? Your favourite on those two? You think the casting one?
Yeah. Well, I like that one because it has the planter, but it is quite a flat pose. I quite like the dynamic pose.
I'm probably with you, to be honest. I probably prefer the casting one.
Yeah.
But yeah, great, cool model. And so what you started to see as the game came out was that it was a collector's. It was a real collector's game. So it wasn't like here's your model of Saruman. It was like here's a great selection of them. And same with like Aragorn had in the Fellowship releases at least 3, maybe
Flaming
4.
Brand one.
Fellowship, Weathertop,
Fellowship.
Amon Hen.
Yeah, Amon Hen with the knife.
Yeah, so I think that was it. So 3 for just the Fellowship releases.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
Cool, now we can fast forward a year to 2002 in November and we hit the 2 towers and Saruman gets another model.
Of course.
Which is Saruman with the staff, and this is the one that I think is the most common.
Is that right? What, to see on the table?
No, for people to own.
If you want to get... So, sorry, this one's a bit knackered, but my version of this has been undercoated black. I got this off eBay years ago, so undercoated black and a bit chipped. So hopefully you can see.
But I think this one came in the battle game in Middle Earth, so that's why it's wide spread.
Did it?
I think so.
Maybe. But this is meant to be, I believe, him... I think this is him on top of Orthanc, isn't it?
Yeah.
Talking to... the what are
The
they called?
Hordes of Uruks.
What's their name? No, not the Hordes of Uruks. What's the name of the Captains of the West?
Oh, you mean when they're talking down it?
Yeah, that's him there, isn't it? Look, that's that shot of him on top of the tower, looking down at them. Yeah,
Maybe.
and he's doing that whole thing. And of course, because that scene was meant to be in the Two Towers, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That scene that's at the start of the extended
I see
version of Return of the
I see
King.
that. I see that.
He's definitely holding his staff like that.
Yeah.
So I think that's where that's from.
And this came in a Saruman and Grima.
Yeah, I think
Box.
Saruman and Grima were a
Yeah.
blister pack when they were first
Yeah.
released. I really like that.
Yeah.
I think that's
cool
a
model.
cracking model.
Yeah.
Really like that. The reason I've painted this one, incidentally, seeing as I'm voting that all the other ones are better, I think it's just that was the first one I had.
I think you told me at the time, because you said, I'm going to do, because I've got so many nice ones, I don't want to mess up the nice one. I'll do this one
really?
first. I think you said, I'll do this one first, because I need to get him done, but I don't want to, I want to try it first before I do my nice
Oh,
ones.
it could have been, yeah. Possibly. And then obviously I haven't got around to
No.
any of the others. But yeah, I think this is a great model. Really, really, really good. Really nice detail, really cool pose. I think it looks good on the table. You don't often see him on the table though, that one.
You do a bit. I've seen
You
them.
think?
Yeah, I've seen them quite a few times.
I think you see the Escape from Orthanc quite a fair bit, and one of the ones that we're going to get to.
I'd say this one's more often than Escape from Orthanc.
Oh, maybe. Could be. Oh, fair enough. But there we go. I think that was called Orthanc Saruman.
Mm-hmm.
When they started sending him on his own
Yeah.
on the website and they started naming them, I think it was Orthanc
Yeah.
Saruman he was called.
But yeah, a cool one. Then we fast forward 3 years to March 2005, so no Return of the King release for Saruman, obviously.
Because he was dead.
No need. Spoilers.
Was.
Um,
Oh god, that's as well. God.
Yeah.
Mm.
And the release of the Scouring of the Shire.
Harry of the Shire.
Yeah, and we get not Saruman but Sharky.
It's Sharky, and spoilers, Sharky is Saruman. We ruined so much on this show. So this is obviously one that I have had painted because I experimented using Sharky and Worm.
Didn't work.
It didn't work. You're right, it didn't. It was like 60 points, 2 plus a mobilise, 4 times at low points. That's brilliant. Nah, don't work. You can chuck it and you just roll a 3 to cast it, and then your opponents resist it.
Resist it with that.
They're quite good. I still think they're viable and they're handy. But
I think he'd be cool leading a Dunlending army as a fluffy thing.
But he was handy. I experimented with him a bit when there were 500-point tournaments, and having him there where it's far too cheap for Saruman,
Yeah.
too low for Saruman.
And this is instead of an Uruk captain, basically.
Yeah, essentially. So suddenly you're looking. What's interesting about this one is it was an entirely. I know we're not talking about profiles, but
Yeah.
it's not to use him as Saruman.
Yeah.
So this was obviously when they released the Scouring of the Shire supplement, not in the films, that they wanted to have a version of Sharky.
Yeah.
And I think that's a gorgeous model.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Really,
I
really
love
good.
it.
Yeah, really, really good model.
It's a cool pose. I like the hood up and over.
Yeah. And why is the hood up and over? Fun bit of trivia here.
Because I don't know.
Because he can't look like Christopher Lee. Because for some reason, and I don't quite get how this works on the licensing thing, but for some reason, the Scouring and the Shire models, because they're not in the film.
Yeah, because the
Can't
Hobbits all look a bit odd, and
The
you
Hobbits
want to
don't-
do head swaps on them.
Yeah, everyone always says the Hobbits don't look like them because they weren't allowed to look like them. Which is also why Worm is on the floor with his hair over his face.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure exactly why, but I remember that being in the White Dwarf, them saying that they couldn't look like the movie versions because GW had rights to, I don't know, produce models from the Lord of the Rings, but if they were doing Lord of the Rings and they weren't in the films,
Yeah,
they
they
couldn't
couldn't
look
look
like the
like
actors. Which is, again, shows you some of the
Yeah.
weird complexities of the license agreement.
Yeah, but this one's a really cool model, regardless.
It is, and we're obviously talking about Saruman models.
Yeah, so this one's a bit separate.
Can you use it?
Oh,
This was the
I'd
very
like-
start of the
yeah.
sliding scale, wasn't it? We used
Yeah.
Saruman as the example of way back when.
yeah, I'd like these to be separate because they're meant to be completely separate.
So you don't think that's okay to use as a Saruman?
No. Yeah, I think you could use him as Saruman. To be honest, you could.
He hasn't got a staff of power.
It's a cool model.
He's got a stick.
Yeah. It's a cool model though. I think it'd be cool. It'd be cool if you're doing him with like a Dunlending thing, or where he's trying to be a bit shadowy, where people don't know who he is.
So maybe if you were, do you think if you were doing the Dunlending theme, then you could get away with that model because it's the right model for the theme?
Yeah, I think so.
But
I wouldn't want. I wouldn't want
Isengard.
it. No, I wouldn't want him leading the whole fight in Uruk-hai.
He's also relatively common because he was in Battle Games Middle Earth.
He was as well.
Possibly
at
he was in the
though,
last issue.
Yeah, he was right at the end.
It's very, very late on. I can't remember if it was the last one. But he was first available in the box with the hobbits, the 4 ponies and Shark and Worm, which then made Worm incredibly valuable because everyone got the Saruman from there.
Yeah.
So yeah, great model though.
Yeah, brilliant.
And again, I paid out not because I thought he was the second best one, but because I wanted to use Sharky, and just as I think you're having the debate, maybe he could be Saruman. There's no way the Sarumans could be Sharky,
no,
right?
exactly.
Yeah. Which is
well, I mean,
standards.
Yeah, but it's. I think it goes. I think James always says it about the Titans guys. It's about the rule of cool, which is an odd expression, but it would be cool for this one to lead Dunlendings in a kind of secret Saruman thing. You can get why someone would do it, whereas if you have this one with a Palantir in the Scouring of the Shire, it's like, it doesn't make sense. He doesn't have the Palantir, he doesn't have his staff then. It's just, it seems like you're more doing it just to get the model you want as opposed to because you think it's cool.
Agree.
That's my
goal.
Yeah. So anyway, where does that rank relative to the others? Or should we keep it separate because it's not quite Saruman?
It's still a model there.
Okay.
Still take off.
So who's in the lead at the moment? What's the order at the moment? We've got...
For me, it's the Orthanc one.
Orthanc one's in the lead.
He's in the lead.
Leaning on the stuff.
Yeah.
Then
Sharky.
Then Sharky.
For me.
Yeah.
Then the caster.
Then the caster.
And then the one with the Palantir.
And then the Palantir one.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on another year to May 2006, and it's the Fall of the Necromancer.
And another supplement.
And another
Saruman.
And for the first time ever, we have a White Council box set.
Oh yeah. And that goes for quite a lot now.
Yeah, now I remember going into my local toy master and they had the box. And I at the time bought, I think that they were out then, I bought a Troll Chieftain. But I was agonising over whether to buy the White Council box set then, which was whatever, 20 quid? 25 quid? And I didn't because I was like, it's a lot of money, I don't need it. Why didn't I get it?
You get both. Tom Harrison of today buys them all.
Yeah, so exactly. So I do not have this Saruman. I have I think I have every other member of the White Council but this Saruman. And it's
you got
cool
most of the
Saruman.
Selwig, didn't you? And that big
Yeah.
And it is this Saruman, affectionately referred to as Snooker Saruman.
He will pop
the
black.
casting Saruman.
Yeah, the other casting Saruman.
Yeah.
And this is the good Saruman.
Yeah,
so
Saruman the White.
Technically, in the Lord of the Rings era, this was the one that you should use if you're using Saruman on the good side.
Yeah. And this guy, as you can see, again, I haven't got around to painting, but this guy is incredibly close to the top of my painting pile because I've had this guy for a while, this one painted, and I wanted a new Saruman.
Yeah.
And this is the guy who's going to be, because this model is stunning.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's also really looks like Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
Which is incredible. But that model, the pose, the sculpt, the detail, everything is absolutely
great.
Gorgeous. Now available in fine cast, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, that White Council thing. But that model is absolutely beautiful, I think.
It's great.
And of course, this is where we talked about the Saruman being an example of the sliding scale thing. That this, of course, being Saruman the White. Can you use him as evil Saruman?
Yeah, I think so.
Of course you can.
It's really just this.
Yeah.
It's really this one that's the pain for whether you want to use him as a good one with the
Got the
Palantir.
Palantir.
But he, yeah.
And therein lies the sliding scale.
Yeah, but then again, it's all about is it cool and themed, and you know that Saruman doesn't look any different to.
Yeah, this could definitely be an evil one. Of course it could.
One.
But this model is just amazing.
So he's your favourite up till now, then?
Yeah. This one's going to jump into the lead for me. And hopefully within about a month or so, he'll be painted.
Cool.
Somewhere like that.
Yeah.
What
Coming
about
to
you?
a hobby vlog near you.
Yep, a few weeks.
Yeah, I'd
before.
agree.
You think?
Yeah.
So he's leading the charge.
Yeah.
Cool. There he goes.
Okay. Then we jump forward 4 years to February 2010 with some of the War of the Ring releases, and they needed heroes foot and mounted for the War of the Ring because you could choose either, and Saruman got a mounted upgrade.
Didn't he? And here he is.
Oh yes.
Unsurprisingly, as a competitive Isengard player, he's painted.
Yeah.
And this is surely to heavens, the most commonly seen version of Saruman.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of the horse.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Though there have been some cool conversions. I know Vesa Nenya had this guy converted onto a horse, and I've also seen this guy converted onto a horse. So the two casting ones onto a horse to show that they're doing magic.
There he is. Again, not a bad job from me, but I think I could probably do better these days.
Now I think this is where we're going to differ on how much we like the model.
I don't hugely like it.
Okay, well
I think
I'm going to differ then.
You're not.
I'm not a big fan.
I don't mind it, but I don't think it blows me away. Interesting thing about this model that I always like everyone moans about fine cost and the details with and the problems with assembling fine cost, and it's true. But this is a good example that this horse here, and I think I've done a pretty good job on filling it. But this leg was in here, was a separate piece, and there was a huge gap in that, and this metal horse that you had to fill with green stuff. And not to start a fine cast metal debate, but everyone's always going when they assemble their fine cast, oh look at all the green stuff you need. You needed it for metal as well. Now there are different and more problems with fine cast, but that one I don't agree with. Yeah. But yeah, there you go. I think he's cool.
I just think again he's quite flat, his model, and I don't particularly like the horse pose too much.
I was going to say I like the horse. I like that he's got a kind of unique horse.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice he's got a unique one, but I just don't particularly like it. It looks a bit odd. It's like where its legs are. Yeah. I don't think the horse matches Saruman. What the horse is doing, Saruman's not really reacting to. So I'm not a huge fan of the model. But
you see him all the time.
Yeah.
Because he's
awesome on a horse.
He's the only mounted version, and you've got to put him on a horse.
Yeah. Well, maybe not.
I might get to that, yeah. Unless, of course, in my opinion, if you're playing Ed Bull's Fell Beasts, at which point you should immediately dismount Saruman, because what his horse is a way for him to hurl a model into him, instantly giving him a extra stroke 3 hit. Yeah. Get him off the horse
straight away
and watch Ed get frustrated.
Yeah. So yeah, those are all of the Lord of the Rings era models.
And that's the reason we won't be showing you the other two.
Yeah, because Damian doesn't have them.
Indeed.
But yeah, there are 2 more Sarumans from the Hobbit era. So in December 2013, The Hobbit came out, Unexpected Journey, and there was the White Council box set, in which you got Galadriel, the very short version of Galadriel.
Is she short?
Yeah, apparently, I've not got her, but apparently she's tiny. People can back me up. I've not got the model, I've not seen. You've got Elrond kind of unarmed as well. You've got Gandalf, another Gandalf.
It's a great Gandalf.
Yeah, but I guess not really used, and because you'd have to buy this extra. It was like 45 quid, wasn't it, for this box set? And Saruman. The Saruman's a cool pose, but the issue was you got 4 models that you probably already had quite freely from the Lord of the Rings era, and they're really just display models. Like the Elrond one's unarmed, you wouldn't want to use it particularly in a game, unless you could use it as the Master of Rivendell, I guess. But
if that comes up, is the Saruman.
Yes.
There you go.
And it's a cool model.
It is, and I thought all of these were they were good versions of the scene. Yeah. They all fit. Particularly, I thought the Gandalf was great.
Yeah, I like the Galadriel as well. I like all of them. I just couldn't justify the money for it. That was the issue.
So I don't have these.
Oh, it's gone all yellow.
So that is the Gandalf. I haven't seen this model a lot. What do you think?
I don't think I've even seen this painted up.
No, I don't know if I can't think of anyone using it.
Not at a tournament.
But a nice a nice model.
I think it's cool. I think his fingers look a little too spindly.
Yeah.
For me.
I remember being frustrated because the Gandalfs from The Hobbit look spot on like Ian McKellen. The White Council one, the Dol Guldur one, they look outstanding. And I didn't think he looked like Christopher Lee.
Not in the same way as Yeah.
But but a good model. But you know, he's going to be, even if that box, he's currently was he 1150 or something.
Yeah.
And once that box set goes, he'll become more expensive because unlike these ones, you just don't get the individual ones floating around on eBay.
Yep. And then finally, January 2015, in the penultimate release.
The last release.
This was the last release. Oh, it was in the last release, wasn't it? Yeah. So yeah, the last ever release
for SPG.
For SPG,
probably.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. And it is the Vanquishers of the Necromancer Saruman.
And there he is.
Who apparently is a nightmare to assemble, but does look really cool.
Yeah. There you go. You're getting the colours there.
He is a very 3D model.
Incredibly dynamic.
There's a lot of depth to him with his cloak swirling around everywhere.
Again, though,
I don't particularly like the paint job on his face on this.
Well, I was certainly going to say that one looks nothing like Christopher Lee. Of all the, it's one of the ironies that of all the kind of technology advancements and stuff, that one probably looks the least like Christopher Lee in the entire range. Yeah, I think.
And probably the same for Kate Blanchett. Less so, it looks like Hugo Weaving though. I'd give them the Elrond.
Do you have the Vanquisher set?
No. I would like the Elrond, but that's probably it.
I've got the Elrond.
Yeah.
I completely agree. It's funny because, again, it's the wonderful thing about taste and the models. A lot of people said Elrond was the worst model.
Yeah, but I
really liked it.
The reason I haven't got the Elrond though is that I've got the Elrond footer mounted with a suitable Elrond.
I like the Elrond. I didn't get the Galadriel because I much prefer the metal Galadriel.
Yeah, same.
And I didn't get the Saruman because I've got these.
I have a lot of Sarumans.
But yeah, apparently though, I've seen the pieces and stuff, and I've seen people. It takes a lot of cleaning up. There's a gap in the beard with the green stuff, and there's an awful lot of bits you need to do. Which that was a lot. I think I've said about this in some unboxings or some hobby vlogs. Some of the Battle of Five Armies fine cast models have frustrated me. Not the quality of them, but the way they're split. So why the hell you would split a beard into parts? Tariel's hair is split here, and like Thranduil's,
and just
I think Thranduil's hair
you
as
don't
well.
want a gap or whatever to fill in those bits.
But I haven't assembled the model. I haven't I've seen it on the table, but I don't think I've had a good look at it. Matt Davis, Generation Shift, just put one up, and you see that the other day.
Yeah, I did actually.
And he was saying that it was a lot of work, but very, very worth it. And the model was great. So yeah.
But, I mean, it's a cool pose.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything for me. I think it's a bit too. It's too fancy. It don't float my boat.
Okay. Really. You don't like the flowy cloaks. Do you like Rivendell Knights?
Yeah.
They have big cloaks.
Yeah, I'm not anti-cloak.
Okay.
I'm not cloakist.
Okay.
But I don't know. Just that.
Yeah.
Pose doesn't hugely do anything for me. It's a bit of style over substance for me. But again, as is often the way with these models, you might feel differently once you get it in your hand.
Yes.
I found that with a lot of sculpts and stuff.
Cool.
So yeah.
So that's all of his models. So overall,
8 models.
Yeah, I think we're falling on this one.
That is for me. He wins.
That's the best. I don't know if that's.
Are you agreeing? Are we agreed?
Yeah. There we go.
Are we in agreement?
Yeah, I think so. I do like the one I've got though.
The Escape from Morgan.
Yeah, I like him.
I think my second one would be the this one, the Orthanc guy.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I had to have one more. I think I've got Sharky. I've got Sharky actually, but I'm not really counting him because I don't have Worm, so you can't really do much with him. If anyone wants to send a free Worm,
yeah, there's a lot of them about.
Yeah,
someone send him a garden worm. Outstanding.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is our favourite Saruman pose, which I will be painting him up as well relatively soon and using him. Yeah. So obviously we want to know what yours are. Yeah. Put in your comment which you think is the best model, and we will let you know next week.
Who wins?
Yeah, who wins? Which is the most popular Saruman model as voted by the community.
Cool.
So we spent a lot of time talking about the models and how you would use them on the, and you know which model you might put on the table. But why would you use him on the team? So we thought it would be good fun. Second, to have a look, not just at Saruman's profile and why you might use him, because a lot of that's now kind of common sense perhaps, but the development of Saruman's profile over the years. Yeah, the evolution of Saruman indeed. And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to talk. So hopefully this will be interesting for some of you who got into the game late, and some of you might be pleasantly surprised and interested to see quite how he developed.
Yeah.
So, Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah.
So this is the first version of Saruman's profile there ever was for this model here. Back in 2001.
Yeah, and so Saruman was 5'5", strength 4, defense 5, 1 attack, 3 wounds, and courage 7. So a very good courage.
So you had, that's the same profile as now?
Yes.
Exactly the same?
Yep.
Yeah.
And 3 might, 6 will, and 3 fate.
Exactly the same as now.
Points wise, he was different.
Oh, different.
Yeah, he was 20 points cheaper.
Oh, okay, so 20 points cheaper than he is now,
Yes.
of course, which is roughly the equivalent of 30 Mario Goblins with stuff.
Oh, just 150 points.
Too risky.
Too risky.
Cool.
Yeah, this is well out of production. I think it's fine. Yeah, so Saruman carried his staff and a sword.
Yeah, a sword.
As a hand weapon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, keep your eye on that sword.
Yeah, I don't know where his sword is on his body at the time, but there you go. And he could use you. He had special rules of Staff of Power, which gives him a free will point per turn, which is the same as now.
Yep.
He also had the Palantir,
Cool.
which was different. Considerably different. Saruman carries the Palantir, an ancient tombstone, blah de blah fluff. Using the Palantir, Saruman can use his Sorcerous Blast ability as if he were anywhere on the battlefield. Which is fairly insane.
That's amazing.
It's a good idea for the player to place a small marker in the position where Saruman will cast from while he works out the effect. I will go to the edge of your line and blast all of it.
No one else. How you do it? That's incredible. And that wasn't once per game, right?
No.
Just every turn.
It's until he has. If he has no will remaining, he can't do it.
Right. Every turn. Saruman's over here. I will blast from here.
Yeah.
This way. So yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Horrifying.
You've got to kind of put yourself in the mindset though that this version of the game, he was against Gandalf. Like, there weren't armies in 2001.
There were no real battle lines.
No.
It wasn't a battle line game.
If you were playing Saruman against anyone, he would have been with a bunch of orcs fighting the Fellowship.
Yeah.
Like there weren't really the same level of armies, and it's, I certainly didn't use Saruman in that first year. I dropped off the game after that, but I remember you played a lot of scenarios, and Saruman wasn't really in them. So it's incredible, but it's incredible now. With the game as it is.
Yeah, the Sorcerer's Blast was on a 5+, so not as good as now. It's 4+ right now for the Evil Saruman.
Evil Saruman's 5.
Is it 5?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Immobilize on a 3+, and Terrifying Aura on a 2+.
So Immobilize was worse. He had Immobilize on a 3 instead of a 2+.
Yeah.
And so he only had 3 spells. He had no command.
No command. I don't think command existed at the time.
No. Well, it was only him or Gandalf.
Yeah.
Did Gandalf have it?
Yes, he had command.
Gandalf did have it, so Saruman didn't get that.
No.
Interesting. So that's the first ever Saruman profile.
Yeah.
With that model. Cool.
Yeah.
Great book.
Then we move on to the Two Towers.
I'm so dear.
And
That's Return of the King.
yeah, it's the same. Oh no, it's the same as the Fellowship. The Two Towers is the same as the Fellowship.
Yep. Yeah, thanks to, it was Chris Dan, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Chris Dan sent us this. Because we haven't got the Two Towers book. It's the only one that I'm missing. But yeah, it's exactly the same, isn't it?
Yeah.
No changes at all.
So exactly the same as the Fellowship.
So that was then when we started to get armies. Because then you got the plastic Riders and Warriors of Rohan and the plastic Isengard.
So
models.
in that era of the game, Saruman must have been incredible.
Yeah. With that Sorcerer's Blast from anywhere against Riders of Rohan.
Yeah.
Could have been horrendous.
Yes.
If anyone got any memories, horrible memories of playing as Rohan of those days, then let us know.
Wow. Anyway, then we move on to the Return of the King.
This is Christmas 2003.
Yeah, and Saruman is the exact same in terms of his stats and his points value and his Might Will Fate, but his spells have changed and his special rules have changed. So he still has the Staff of Power for a free will point per turn, but the Palantir has changed. He can now not do Sorcerer's Blast anywhere on the board, but he can use his Immobilize and Command powers against any enemy on the battlefield without line of sight.
So he's now got Command.
Yeah.
He gains Command.
Yeah. So
he's
got Effortlessly Immobilize, so it's Immobilize on a 2+. They used to do that, and in this book they said like Ultimate Sorcerer's Blast, I think Gandalf has.
It's strange, isn't it?
To say it's better.
To give them like personalised spells.
Yeah, Gandalf Ultimate Sorcerer's Blast, 4+ to cast.
He's got Effortless
and strength
as well.
and strength 6 on the first model.
So he's Immobilised then, because Gandalf the White is 2+.
Yeah, he has Effortlessly Immobilised.
So it's the same spell as opposed to get in this era of the game, because I bet Gandalf the Grey's in there, isn't he? As well.
Yeah.
He'll have Immobilised.
Yeah.
Which is on a 3+. Is that right?
And then it's
so Gandalf the Grey had Immobilised on a 3+. Saruman had Effortlessly Immobilised on a 2+. So you had the almost like a powered up version of the spell, because all the spells were listed within their individual profiles, as opposed to just improving their casting value, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, it reminds me of Street Fighter.
Right?
Did you ever play Street Fighter?
No,
of course not. Sorry, but like they used to have the fireballs, the Hadouken, and in the version Super Street Fighter, Ryu got a flaming fireball, which was better than Ken's fireball, but Ken got a flaming Dragon Punch Shoryuken. That was better than the normal Dragon Punch. Right. Street Fighter 2 is the best games ever.
Didn't think we'd be talking about this. All in memory of Christopher Lee.
He loved Street Fighter.
Okay. So yeah, anyway, he has better Immobilize and he now has Command.
So he's now got his Immobilize on 2, Command on 3, Sorcerer's Blast on a 5, and Terrifying Aura on 2. Yeah. Which exists to this day.
Yes, they do. And but the Palantir is different. Because he can still use his Command and Immobilize to anyone on the battlefield. That's cool. Yeah. But it does mean you could hide him miles back where no one can see him and just Immobilize.
Yeah. Is that more or less useful than Sorcerer's Blast, do you think?
Oh, less useful in the Sorcerer's Blast. Just because it gave you the opportunity to point it anywhere.
If it came off though, it's a 5+.
Yeah.
I think being able to because imagine now you could immobilise any spellcaster.
Radagast can immobilise, right?
He's assumed to
have
he
has the line of sight.
No, I think it still has to be in range, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, he'd still
he's
have
assumed
to
have lines of sight.
Yeah, but
to anywhere on the battlefield.
But
he still has to be in range, I believe.
Yeah. No, you're correct. Yeah.
But,
yeah, Saruman can do this from turn 1.
Yeah.
So on turn 1, if you're miles away,
and your spellcaster is lurking at the back, you just immobilise him. Mm-hmm. He's always assumed to have line of sight to anyone on the battlefield. Yeah, so he's still got Radagast has still got
the range.
Be in range, yeah. So that's cool though. Yeah. But you can start to see potentially after the 2 towers, they've reined him in a bit. Yeah. Same points value, and they've given him Command, but they've taken away that Sorcerer's Blast.
Yeah, they also give him the Voice of Command, which is a 12-inch standfast.
Can it affect heroes?
No.
No. So that only comes in later. So that's where he gets that, because that's now a staple of him as well. Yeah. So there we go. Yeah. That's the third one. It's also worth pointing out that all 3 of these are in the era before Legions of Middle-earth. So there was, up to this point, there was still no army selection. You just played 1,000 points and took whatever you wanted. Yeah. Which, has a bearing on things.
Yeah. Then we move on to the one rulebook to rule them all. So kind of at the end of the Lord of the Rings era.
This is about 2006.
And
I think this came out after Fall.
And this is where the magical powers are now generic. You look them up in the book. Yeah. He still has Terrifying Aura on a 2+, Sorcerer's Blast on a 5, Immobilize 2, Command 3. So it's exactly the same. The difference is the Palantir, which is now priority winning as opposed to spellcasting.
So as we now know it.
Yes. And also he is now 20 points more, so now at his current point cost.
Which we can't reveal. But it's 4 Mario Goblins with stuff more than his previous iteration,
which was 150.
Which is 150 points. And it's now the same total that he currently costs, which is 170 points.
And he also has the option for a horse now, which he didn't previously.
That's the biggie, isn't it? That's the huge thing in that one.
Yeah.
So he gets more expensive here.
Yes. This is when they moved all the wizards up from 150 to 170.
Oh, okay.
Was Radagast in this book? I don't think Radagast made it into this book, did he?
Not sure.
I have a feeling that Radagast
He was in Fallen Necromancer.
later. I don't think Radagast is here, but
Possibly.
I think Gandalf.
So also, the Palantir now, he's more... Saruman, this is the first time...
Bless you.
The first time, really, where he gets a real nerf. 20 points more.
Yeah.
And the Palantir is far worse.
Yeah.
You're going up for Return of the King, so you can immobilise anywhere on the table.
Yeah. But Gandalf's up in points.
Yeah.
As well.
But you know, Nick and Brary once a game.
Yeah.
It's not as good as being able to immobilise anywhere on the table.
No.
By any means.
And he now has a dagger instead of a sword as well. Big news.
Keep your eye on that.
So yeah, that's Saruman in this rulebook.
In Lord of the Rings era.
Yes, and
There was another Lord of the Rings era.
Yep.
Which was... it's gone. Let's have it.
It's not gone.
Which was for Necromancer, which I believe was 2006. Should be on your
It'll also
agenda
be
for
in the two Towers journey book supplement.
No, he's not. Because
Is
the journey books added.
No,
to
they just add the profiles. They don't put the ones you need for the scenarios. Okay.
So this was the first time. Was this 2006?
It was 2006 May.
The first time you get Saruman the White. So suddenly, good forces have access to him. He's gone down in points again.
Yeah.
He's gone down by 4 Mario Goblins with shield.
250 again.
250 again. Enunciate, man. Same stats, obviously. He carries his staff of office, 2-handed weapon, no dagger. Dagger's gone. Can't carry a horse. Can't carry a horse. Can't carry a horse. No, can't ride a horse. Staff of Power, Voice of Curunir, so he still gets it. It's called something different now.
Yeah.
Still gets a 12-inch standfast. It can affect other heroes. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's really good. He is a consuming rivalry with Saruman. No, that would be schizophrenic. Gandalf. And he will never move as part of a heroic action called with Gandalf, nor will he accept Gandalf's aid in the form of strength and will spell, which is really
everyone
cool.
remembers that when they use them?
Almost certainly not. I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know. I think people could forget that one unintentionally. His spells: Terrifying Aura 2+, that's the same. Sorcerous Blast 4+, that's one better. Immobilize 2+, that's the same. Command 3+, that's the same. But the biggie is that he can immobilize and command 18 inches.
I think this is the one. Is the most underpointed of all of them.
Yeah.
That extra range is for 20 points cheaper than the evil version is stupidly good.
He doesn't get the Palantir, so that's presumably why he's cheaper. But it's absurd.
Yeah.
Have you played?
Yeah,
it?
it's horrific.
It's horrendous to play against.
But you can't get a horse.
You can't get a horse.
I'm sure I played Owen when he's with a horse.
Yeah, but he can get a horse now, I believe.
Yeah. There you go.
I think he can get a horse now. But in this book, because this was all about them going to Mirkwood, he
spoilers
couldn't get a horse. Spoilers, yeah.
Spoilers for what's coming.
That's a great profile.
Yeah, that's.
So suddenly
awesome.
you had him, and this changed the entire meta of the
It's
game,
the
doesn't
18
it?
inch that's just so good.
So suddenly you're having that caster with the 12-inch stand. It's a great profile. The 12-inch standfast that can affect heroes is absolutely outstanding because you suddenly get that
for good, because good don't have fury.
Yeah. So they suddenly, a hero's 12 inches away, their standfast is 6 inches, that's essentially an 18-inch standfast. It's incredible.
Well, and you can have it out both ways, so more.
36-inch standfast.
One.
So yeah, that's you can cover a 36-inch kind of circle of the battlefield. But a great profile, and of course where our favourite model comes from.
Yes.
So well done there. But I think as well you've kind of seen this with the Vanquish of the Necromancer profile, that he was designed to deal with loads and loads of Wraiths and the Necromancer.
Yeah.
In this book, those things were pretty good.
Yeah. And
so you needed good heroes to
That's
kind
why
of
we
bolster
put
them.
Círdan in.
Yeah, absolutely. totally OP. So there we go.
Mhm.
That was 2006,
Yes.
which is probably the same year as that as
Yeah.
the previous one.
Yeah, and then we've got 2 when the new source book's new.
It's 2000. It was the start of the year The Hobbit came out.
Yeah,
So
it was just before the Ring came
11?
out.
Start of 2011.
Just before War of the Ring, or just
War of the
after-
Ring?
After War of the
It was,
Ring.
it was
Well,
a few
after,
years after
yeah.
War of the Ring.
It was when they were
this
bringing
was
it back,
This was when
yeah.
they dropped War of the Ring,
Yeah.
essentially. It was the start of the year that The Hobbit came out, so that's...
Mhm.
Where are we now? It's 2015. So Battle of Five Armies was 14, 13, 12. So this, I think these were the start of 2012.
Yeah. They should say it.
Yeah, I know, right? I just got that. Oh, they've got no publishing detail.
Do that.
It's weird.
There, at the back.
2011.
Yeah, that one.
Cool.
There you go. So anyway, we have a good Saruman and an evil Saruman.
We do.
The good Saruman is exactly the same, apart from he now has the option to get a horse.
So that's unfair.
Yes.
And that is the one that I've played against. You mentioned
Terrific.
Damian.
With Saruman on a horse, which can move 10 inches, that's a 28-inch
Yeah.
spell range. Or, if you're doing the whole, I'm going to run out, run back, let's say he goes forward 5 and back 5, that's still 23 inches.
Yeah. You mentioned Owen. I've been done over by Owen,
Yeah.
Saruman the White on Horse.
It's just
I think it's only
fantastically
him.
good.
I've only played it against it with Owen, I think. And again, of course, you
I've
just used
played it
this model.
I've
It's the
played
same
it
model.
with, I think, when Jamie and James Braun dressed up as Tom and Goldberry, they had Saruman.
Oh yeah, I didn't.
The White
I didn't
on
have the
Horse.
pleasure of that.
I think that's it for me playing it. Oh no, I've played. Oh well, no, for the horse version anyway. Yeah.
So that's something incredibly good profile in the game, and he is the wizard of choice for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And the debate is normally, do you take Gandalf for the blinding light?
Yeah.
Isn't it? That's the debate.
Yeah.
Saruman for the extra range or the cost.
Saruman's better, and this Saruman with the Sorcerer's Plus on a 4, right?
Yeah.
He's as good as Gandalf the White, who is who is an extra 80 points or whatever. I mean, Gandalf
It doesn't have blinding light.
Yeah, it doesn't have blinding light. Gandalf can move a bit faster on Shadowfax, and
Break
Gandalf
stars.
has the re-roll fate.
You can break stars.
Yeah, but
Saruman's
I'd say
got 12-inch stand
I'd say that this Saruman is pretty much up there with that Gandalf. I'd say Gandalf the White is slightly better, but
he's better for the points.
For the points, he's so much
Yeah.
better. That's the big
Because
difference.
he gets stand fast for other heroes as well.
Yeah.
There's all those times where your Courage 6 hero just does that little choke.
Mhm.
It's not an issue.
Because I don't think that, because people you don't see Gandalf the White that often. I don't think that he's overpointed necessarily. I just think all the other wizards and raves are underpointed and should be all brought up towards him.
But then you do, everyone's played against a wizard where you've got him in combat and killed him in like one turn. The combat ability is a big letdown.
Yeah.
And at the same time as that,
a big army in front of them.
Yeah, exactly. We also get Saruman the White here, just Saruman, sorry, who is exactly the same as he was in the One Ring book, but loses his dagger.
Oh wow.
His dagger's gone. Well, it is. It has a knock-on effect.
It's not gone. Oh, because now you can equip him with an axe.
Well, more that he couldn't feint. So this isn't for the Hobbit rules.
He can't feint.
This is the year before.
Yeah.
Like almost literally
they just
calendar
they
year
did away
before.
with all of the weapons in these books,
Yeah.
which is frustrating.
So this is pre the Hobbit rules, knowing about special strikes. The implication then being that now, should
it's
you
because
want
they
to,
came in and just said everyone has a hand weapon.
Yeah, they did exactly that. So they didn't specify any of the hand weapons, which of course, on reflection, if they'd have left it, would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's exactly the same as the previous one, including the horse. And this is, of course, the profile that you see all over the place for evil armies. It's the one that I have used with wondrous joy. Saruman mounted in an evil army, leading troops. You can't, Saruman the White can't lead troops. This guy at the head of a Uruk-hai army is a fantastic profile.
Yeah, he's very good. And you see him a lot. You see Saruman a lot. He's very good. I'd say he's one of the most frequent heroes used at tournaments. I'd say that above him would be Legolas.
Alfred in Horrible Town.
But yeah, you'd say that Saruman is probably in the top 3 models brought to tournaments.
Yeah, maybe. Depends on the point value.
In terms of if you ignore cheap shaman captains, as in named heroes.
That'd be interesting.
I reckon he'd be in the top 3.
Yeah, probably. Get Larry on it.
Yeah.
Larry loves that. Larry, we need you to go through all the armies of the GBHL over the last 2 years, please.
Yeah.
Give us a definitive list.
Yeah, Lego.
What do you mean you don't know who people brought? Thorin. I reckon Thorin or Dwalin could be pretty good now.
Yeah.
Thorin as a leader. We're going off topic. Keep this, save it. It's next week. Good topic. Super secret surprise.
I'm going to write this down.
But yeah, Saruman, really great profile. Loses he does suffer a bit, I suppose, from the range, but as soon as you put him on a horse, he's very, very powerful. I've had him against GBHL James command Guahir to his death from 21 inches away.
Yeah.
Like,
you just think you're safe.
Yeah, you think you're safe. You can ride 10 inches, cast up to 12, and then bring him forward. And it's a very, very handy ability to have. Yeah. So yeah, Saruman the White.
Yeah.
And that is it.
For the Lord of the Rings era.
Yeah, that's it. Done?
No.
No?
No. Very recently.
What is this?
Yeah, we're into the Battle of the 5 Armies.
A Battle of 5 Armies supplement. And didn't this put a cat amongst the Sarumans? So now...
I think this is a great one because
Yeah.
it gives you a really tough choice against the old good Saruman.
I think this book did that on a lot.
They did it very well.
There's a lot of profiles in here that are good, like new Thranduil against old Thranduil.
Which do you pick?
Is a tough choice. Yeah. It's not an obvious...
Radagast and Eagle versus old Radagast.
Absolutely.
Which do you pick?
Everyone was
Legolas versus old Legolas. Which do you pick? All the old Thorin's Company versus new ones, and Simon Grant, who wrote it, did a great job of giving you a tough choice.
And Galadriel.
Yeah, Galadriel.
Galadriel's another one.
Yeah.
Like she's very, very, very good, but
all of them.
Is she better?
So yeah, this was a great supplement, and go back through our GBHL podcast archives, and you can watch the Battle of the 5 Armies week that Damian and I did around Christmas time.
Yeah.
So we're all wearing Santa hats.
It was about
the time.
5 videos we did that week.
Yeah.
It's probably about 10% of that or something. We are comparing this to the current Saruman the White.
Yes.
Yeah. So he is cheaper than this.
Yeah, this one's
he's back up. There's to be 2 points values for Saruman. So this one's 170.
Yeah.
New one, Saruman the Wise. It's a free PDF, so you can find out. And the current one is 150.
Yeah.
So 20 points more.
So what does he get for his? What does he get?
Same stat line.
Yeah.
Exactly same stat line. He can't ride a horse.
No.
He can't be banished.
Worse. That's worse.
Sounds like Jamie. He can be banished. So yeah, he can't ride a horse. That's worse. He gets resistant to magic,
which is weird, because that's for if he has no will. The only thing you can think why this has been put in is for if he gets his will sapped, but his staff isn't broken, he can then resist with the one and still cast with his free one. So that's the purpose.
It's
anti-fel. It's anti-raids.
These are anti-raids. The new White Council things are designed to do the Dol Guldur scenarios and be anti-raid. Voice of Curunir, 12 inches, can affect other heroes. Consuming Rivalry still won't take Gandalf. Lord of the Istory. This is a biggie. Saruman the Wise can choose to reroll 1 dice when making casting or resist tests. That means, and this has been clarified both in the same turn. Yeah. So every turn he can reroll 1 dice when he's casting and 1 dice when he's resisting.
It's incredible.
We'll get on to that. He has Aura of Command on a 2+, Command and Immobilise on 18 inches on a 2+ and 3+, and Sorcerer's Blast 12 inches on a 4+. Yeah. So same spells. Yeah. So the differences are he
can't take a horse.
He can't take a horse.
He is resistant to magic.
Resistant to magic, and he gets the Lord of the History.
It's the reroll look that is amazing. We haven't really talked about Aura of Command. Can be useful for if you're wanting to charge terrifying models.
It's Aura of Command, isn't it?
Yeah, it means that
we haven't talked about the difference.
No, every model within 6 inches for that turn can ignore terror.
Is that the same as the white one? I just assumed, because I always used the evil one. I just assumed it was Terrifying Aura.
No, it's not. Previously, he had Terrifying Aura, so it is different.
Oh, so it is different?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I haven't picked up on that.
Yeah.
I'm sure other people have.
So
probably
Aura of Command, Celeborn has it.
So again, it's to help you charge the raids?
Yeah.
Ah, so Saruman the Wise doesn't have Terrifying Aura. He has Aura of Command on a 2+.
No,
didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's good for even if you've got something like elves, that might be useful just to guarantee everyone on that turn is going to be able to charge.
But it's a 6-inch bubble for the one turn, yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to look in the actual rulebook.
Because that's
more
useful.
I don't know what the channeled version does.
The channel will make it exhaustion, I bet.
Yeah.
So Aura of Command. Oh no, it's not. It is exhaustion. The spell's exhaustion. So 6 inches of him pass any courage test, and if channeled, it's 12 inches.
I was using Caliban. I should have used that spell. That's good.
Yeah.
Because it means that when you're broken, you don't need the stand fast. Because if your heroes are charged, that's still going on.
So that's incredible because obviously, again, fighting the Raves, everyone's at -1. Suddenly they can all charge them. And the other great thing about that is that's the equivalent of the Terrifying Aura for the evil one. First turn, you're miles away from the enemy, you chuck a 2+, you get it up. Suddenly, generally speaking, if your game goes well, Saruman doesn't get charged, you don't need Terrifying Aura. That, straight away, 6 inches, because you wouldn't channel it, you wouldn't use a point of might on that. Everything can charge everything terror causing. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Kind of gives you the advantage of bodyguard.
But yeah, I'm more liken it to a fury bubble. If you ignore the save, that's a 6-inch fury bubble for passing at the end, and you can
But it is only.
I don't know if you were thinking about it.
Any
way,
courage test.
Let's say you shove him behind. This is another reason why J. Clare has him in his late time army. Late time at awful courage. Channel Aura of Commander of Saruman on turn 1, and they're loving it. You can get every late time model into terrifying enemy.
Yeah. And automatically pass break test.
Yeah, so they can charge the Wraiths.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Well, he just got better.
Yeah.
And everyone's sitting there going, "Yeah, we talked about this in December." I don't remember any discussion about it. So yeah, that is your new. This is only a debate, of course, if you're good.
Yes.
You take Saruman the white, or do you take Saruman the wise?
So you lose the horse is the big one, but the re-rolling. I think that if you've got a full army in front of him, that you'd take the foot version.
Yeah.
I think he's better because he's better at spell casting.
And 12 inches is far enough.
Yeah.
In the current game.
And he's still got his 18-inch immobilised.
Oh, of course,
He's still amazing.
So even if you're just what he's now got, and bear in mind as well, what you can cleverly do. He's a really good combination with Galadriel. You take the new Galadriel. They're in a white council.
She's got the blinding light.
Yeah, she got the white. So as soon as you've got him with someone else with a council, you could cheese him up with. Who could you take? Let's have a look at who's in the list.
With blinding light.
Legolas.
Yeah.
The White Council. It can be either Legolas. So Legolas is awesome now.
Yeah.
You put Legolas in the same warband as Saruman.
Yeah.
And suddenly he's got a free will point. You can re-roll it, and he gets +1 for being in a White Council. Yeah. And then if you've got Galadriel,
so you just wouldn't target him. And then if you've got Galadriel with fortified spirits, then you're never ever going to target him. And that's the big thing for spellcasters is when they're up against another spellcaster, they end up spending the game nullifying each other a little bit and having a little war. Saruman is not really going to have that problem when he's in a White Council.
And you probably wouldn't. I used Galadriel the weekend. You probably wouldn't channel it on someone else because it's going to burn through a mind.
Does he have to be with someone else to get that +1?
He has to be in a White Council within 6 inches of someone from the White Council.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. As in, you can't just drop him in and say he's a White Council. No. He gets this one. Yeah. That's really good.
But say you got Fortified Spirit on it, that gives him 2 extra dice to resist.
Yeah.
That means that every turn, without using his staff or his store, he gets 2 dice.
Which you can re-roll one.
You can re-roll one off, and he gets +1.
It's amazing.
If he's within 6 inches of Galadriel. That's incredible. And then on the same turn, he casts and gets to re-roll one of those dice. That's an incredibly good profile.
Yeah. I'm thinking now that if you can just shove him and Galadriel, the new him and the new Galadriel, with whatever host you want in front of them, that's it. Let's say you can have a 1,000-point army, and you were trying to be competitive. Why wouldn't you put, if you've got any sort of horde in front of them, you'd have him and Galadriel, because then you get the blinding light, you get banish, and you get him being awesome.
Well, you also it opens up from having Galadriel. It opens up immobilize. The debate about Galadriel is banish and fortify spirit and blind against immobilize.
But she doesn't need them if she's alongside one of the other powerful White Council wizards.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's exactly what I'm sure others have, but Jay, Claire, and Dan did at the Mansfield doubles that they won.
Yeah.
They had a Lake Town horde. And they had Gandalf as well. But they had Bard, militia captains, and Alfred leading about 30 militia. And then behind them, Galadriel, Saruman, and
that's
Gandalf.
strong. Multiple spellcasters always is strong at high points.
Alfred, there's you give the might to Galadriel. Get her to channel it.
Yeah. Channel
on all three of them.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
As long as they've got an enemy spellcaster, right?
Yeah.
But
the only thing
at
I
1,000
found,
points, you're probably going to come up against wraiths.
Yeah, absolutely. The only thing I found when using her, that the idea is in your head, you go, right, I channel Fortify Spirit on her so she can't be targeted, and then I cast on all my heroes. And the reality is, by turn 2, you're trying to do something else. With that Galadriel, you're trying to banish a wraith. Yeah. Now, if you're against an army without wraiths, then yeah. But that very quick, it's like the Radagast thing, you know, where you go, oh, I can renew anyone. And the reality is, you're probably going to be immobiliser.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're not up against wraiths, then that's what you do, isn't it? That's a horrendous combo, and yeah, it worked for Jay. And
it's a good combo.
So yeah, that's the evolution of Saruman.
And there's different profiles.
And there's different profiles.
We've gone for the old good Saruman as the best model, and we've gone for the new good Saruman
as the best profile.
As the best profile.
There are three. We can't. I mean, if you could have any one of those profiles,
the good
is
ones.
it newer?
Yeah.
More than the first one with
the
Sorcerer's
Blast Anywhere. That one's still very, very good.
But it's only on a 5+.
Yeah.
It could be incredible. It could destroy Widow of armies.
It would destroy armies, yeah.
Because you couldn't protect against it, because it wouldn't matter how you put your armour, you could always find the best line.
Yeah. You'd have to just have your whole army spaced out, which cripples elves, because they want to be fighting in a line as opposed to skirmishing.
And you can't also bear in mind that one doesn't have command, and he doesn't have.
Yeah, I think you'd still go with the new
voice of. He doesn't have the 12-inch stand fast.
I think you'd go with the new one, and you'd go with the good Saruman, and I think you'd go with the new one even though you can't have a horse.
So we're saying good Saruman because of 18-inch range.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what tips him over 18
inches. If you're in an old hero force, then the Saruman horse obviously for the movement. Yeah. But if you've got a whole army in front, then I don't think you necessarily need the horse.
He's cheaper as well. Oh, he's gone up, isn't he?
He's gone up. 100%. But I think that he is the best one.
Yeah, and
you may disagree.
It would be remiss of us not to talk about the Palantir.
Yeah,
that we didn't actually mention. That is obviously only available on the Evil one. That I have used an awful lot.
It's very handy.
It's a great little toy, and you have to use it when your enemy has no might.
Yeah,
I've seen lots of people. I don't understand why you'd ever use it when your opponent has might.
Because if you do that, they'll say heroic move, and then you have to heroic move back. And it's just a waste.
Yeah, the only time I have done it actually. Or not the only time, but the situations where I do is if you know, even if they got might on the table, they have no might in the area that you want to do. And I did that against Owen at the Mansfield tournament that I won. That he had a thin line of Lake Towners, and I had loads of my Ferals and Berserkers here, and I knew that he didn't have any might there. So I used the Palantir, knowing that he couldn't heroic move back, to just jump on all of them, and they would have backed off. And so that's worth doing, but it's quite rare that you're able to really smash a small part of the army.
But it is amazing in the late game that you can just have that. I mean, obviously it's not as good as Aragorn's free might, but it gives you that one.
It pretty much it won or it turned the game against Josh Triffitt against the last game at Reels in the Woodhouse, where I was playing the game knowing and working out my strategy based on the fact that it didn't matter what we rolled because. You need the Palantir, and then I'll get that, and then I'll be able to do this. And it's a very,
that was
very
for getting scouts off the board. So you knew that you'd be able to move first, so he couldn't stop you.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter who rolled, because you wouldn't be able to move them, because I would be able to cast that Sorcerer's Blast because of the Palantir. So it's a very, very handy little tool. It's a great thing for the evil army. But, yeah, even they're the same points, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're 170,
Yeah.
both him and the new one.
Yeah.
And it's like the new one, even though he can't ride a horse
And he doesn't have the Palantir.
and he can't lead troops,
And he can't lead troops.
but the good vastly outweighs the
18
bad.
inches,
Ha!
yeah.
The good
Yeah.
outweighs the bad. Good
Yeah.
outweighs the evil. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So, our thoughts.
Yeah,
I
we've
think-
been talking long enough.
Yeah, I think fairly comprehensively in the end.
Yeah, on
Is
Saruman.
that Saruman the Wise is the best Saruman profile out there. But you may disagree. So let us know if you could pick any one of those 8 or Sharky. We didn't talk about Sharky. Sharky is not the best. Does have his uses.
Yeah.
We talked about this with the model, but
Yeah.
the worm thing is never an issue because you just
No.
send him off first and get
Yeah.
killed, and he is a handy little wizard.
Yeah. But he's like Gildor, he's very low defense. You think the immobilize would be great, but then if he like you say, if he casts a 3, then someone's probably going to resist that anyway. He might get 1 or 2 immobilizers off.
I think he's the third hero. That's how I was always thinking of him. The
Mhm.
first one's Vrasku,
Mhm.
the second one's a shaman, and then you have a debate, and maybe you can fit him in there.
Yeah.
So if you're third hero with Eyes and Guide, you're looking at about 400
Mhm.
points, 400 to
Mhm.
500, leading a warband. And then you're not up against the biggest heroes. A lot of them have 1 will.
Yeah, not Theoden. He'd be worth it against Theoden.
Yeah. And so you can normally get one out to get the will
Yeah.
point off them, and then be pretty sure
You'll get
of
that.
getting it. But you also only get 1 might with him,
Yeah.
as opposed to a captain where you get 3. It's tough, but he was
Yeah,
alright.
if he got Uglook in
Yeah,
instead.
he wasn't bad, but he's one of those models that I think looks better on paper
Yeah.
than actually is.
So yeah, those have been our thoughts on Saruman. We were going to talk. Someone asked about unique special rules.
Unique surprises.
Yeah,
we'll
unique
talk
surprises.
about
Yeah.
next week.
Which because Saruman's got the Palantir one, and we'll try and expand on other ones. That other model. Only one model has something, so we'll try and talk about some of those and which we think are the best.
But we know it was a little different this week. Obviously,
Mm.
that was intentional. We hope you've enjoyed this minor tribute to Christopher Lee and this discussion of Saruman and his models and his role in the game. And let us know what you think about Saruman.
Yep.
Other than that, we'll see you next week.
Mm-hmm.
As ever, don't forget to comment, like, share and subscribe.
Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.
Support your Hobbit hobby.
And happy strategy battle game.
And go and see Jurassic World. It's really, really good. I nearly made it.
Yeah.